Hello, all my smokers and midnight tokers. It's Carla, and I'm here on a beautiful day in my Brooklyn backyard to make grilled turkey club sandwiches. Hot take, I think turkey is the best protein to grill in the summer. It takes to smoke so incredibly well. I personally grill my Thanksgiving turkey, but grilling a bone-in turkey breast is going to be the best turkey meat for a sandwich you've ever had. And it all starts with a beautiful bone-in turkey breast. You want it to have the bone in because it's gonna be on the grill for a while. This weighed around 7 pounds. Sometimes they could go up to 10. This one actually had it set up. It's been in the fridge for 24, 36 hours. And I have already pre-seasoned it with my proprietary blend of delicious dry rub. This is what my rub looks like. The most important ratio that you need to remember if you want to riff and do your own spices is that it is a 2-to-1 ratio salt to sugar. So half a cup of salt to a quarter cup of sugar, but that's what's going to give it the like really cured like deli meat flavor. So in addition to the salty flavors and the sweet flavors, which is typical for like that barbecue grill deli meat flavor, I've got garlic powder and onion powder, not shown. Chili powder, which is chili with an I, not chili with an E, which means it's a blend of chilies and other spices. Usually cumin is in there, all go really well with the smoke. And then some paprika. This is a Spanish paprika. You could use Hungarian paprika. You could use any kind of paprika that you have. It could be a little spicy. It could be a little less. But because it's such a big piece of protein, I really want you to think ahead to grilling day. So if grilling day for you is maybe Saturday, maybe it's Sunday, maybe it's Father's Day, you're gonna wanna be thinking about this a couple days in advance. One reason is that in the summer, sometimes the butchers have not caught on to the whole grilled turkey craze yet. And so you're gonna wanna give them a heads up. They might only have frozen right now because it is not November. The other reason you wanna plan ahead is that you wanna get this spice rub on for, I really like a minimum of 48 hours, 24 will do, because it's a big piece of protein and you want that flavor really to get in there. So before I throw it on the grill, I just put a little bit of oil, and now I'm going to, in a way that's never gonna be perfect, kind of combining the oil and the spices and making sure it's everywhere. Just pat it on like you would your concealer. Pat, 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 blend the edges. Doing a lot of makeup references lately, which I'm 100% here for. The other thing about this turkey breast, the wings are gone because a lot of people don't want the wings on their turkey breast. If you can get the breast with the wings, I highly recommend. If you can only get a whole turkey, get the whole turkey, pay for the whole turkey, ask the butcher to take the legs off for you, set those aside. You're gonna make turkey confit with the legs, and then you're gonna have the bone-in breast with the wings. It's really the best of every world. So now, I've got my big green egg set up over here. It is preheated. The grill grates are hot. I already scrubbed them. And I've banked the coals over to one side of the grill, which is what we call indirect grilling. There's a hot side and a cooler side. That's not cold, it's just cooler. And that's where I'm gonna put the turkey so it's not directly above this fire. That way it's going to cook, it's gonna smoke, but it's gonna act more like an oven in here, and we're not gonna have like burning, scorching on the underside of the turkey breast. And then let's see if I can do this. And I'm gonna reposition this a couple times, but it really doesn't matter which way you put it down first. Let's put it down there. So just make sure positioned over where there's empty under the grill. I smushed the spice rub around when I picked it up with the tongs. So I'm gonna fix that. And this was one large chimney worth of charcoal. You may need, if you're not using a Komodo style grill, if you're using a regular Weber, you might need another chimney's worth of coals like 45 minutes in. So just sort of be prepared to have a chimney going on the side. I might not need it because the insulation is really great on this grill. So this is it. Say goodbye to turkey. We will see you soon, turkey. Do a great job. You're wonderful. wonderful food.
Aww.
And if you have a thermometer on your grill, the target temp is like 350, 375, somewhere in there. If you don't have a temperature readout on your grill, you can stick a digital thermometer in there. Since we're talking about temperature and the fact that this is mostly hands-off, inactive, I'm roasting a turkey. If you don't have a grill, and I've heard from you guys, if you don't have a grill but you want to take part in smoky, grilly outdoor flavors, do everything exactly the same. Put your turkey in a 350-degree oven and check it at the same intervals. Because of the spices that I'm using, you're still gonna get really nice smoky flavor without the smoke, and the timing is gonna be exactly the same. You're putting your turkey down and you're gonna check it in 30 minutes. So I'm just watching my thermometer come up, and then, yeah, then it's like ice down the beer, make your sides, you know, refresh and put bug spray on, whatever you need to do. You have half an hour of chill time now. Special thank you to the sponsor of today's episode, BetterHelp. As we get deeper into the year, it is oh so easy to slip into autopilot and stop prioritizing our physical and mental health. That's why it's important to have someone to talk to, and BetterHelp can help with that. Their extensive network includes over 30,000 therapists. You just fill out a questionnaire detailing what you're struggling with, and then BetterHelp uses your answers to match you with a therapist who specializes in those areas. Once you're matched, you can meet with your therapist through phone calls, video, or messaging. It's totally up to you. So if you're struggling with mental health or just need someone to talk to about what you're going through, click the link in the video description or get yourself over to betterhelp.com/Carla Lalli music. Clicking on that link not only gets you 10% off your first month with BetterHelp, it also supports this channel, thus lifting my mood and mental health. So it's been half an hour on Planet Turkey, and my temperature has dropped about 30 degrees. So I'm gonna take a look, but probably adding another spoonful of coals here as well. So as far as the turkey goes, not much to see. Maybe the spices look a little dried out, a little brownish. There's a tiny bit of change on the skin on that side, but really not much to look at. But I do wanna refresh the coals. If you had started your charcoal chimney, this would be a great time to sprinkle some of the coals over the top. I happen to have a raging hellscape burning inferno behind me, so I'm just gonna scoop from there. Yep, I said it was an inferno. If this is too much, I'll close down the vents and kind of tamp it back down. But for now, closing it back up, wait for the temperature to settle down and assess, and set another timer for 30 more minutes. We're just shy of the 1 hour mark over here in Turkey Village, and I'm going to take a look. When I added that log, it did make a little spike in the temperature. So the side of the turkey that's closest to the flame, I just wanna check in on, and we want even cooking. So I'm just gonna turn the whole breast around. And you can see it's just picked up some color there, but essentially that's the rib bones under there and the edge of the breast. So I'm not worried about that color. It's gonna be great. So that was essentially a 180 turn. We're 60 minutes in, going back down into that smoky hot box, and keep it going. So we're now at 1 hour and 45 minutes, which is about what I put in the recipe as being the total time. Let's take a look and take a temp. So very often when I made this in the past, the skin gets like burnished and mahogany colored and like beautiful just from sitting on the grill. Kind of depends on the temperature, how big of a breast it is. This one didn't get quite as beautiful as I would like, but let's take the temperature and then talk about what to do about the skin. All right, so when you do this, just make sure you're going into the thickest part. So 156, which is exactly where I want my turkey breast to be. That is below the 165 that you might have memorized from whatever. But 165 is gonna be when you have a dried out turkey. So this is perfect because it needs to rest. What isn't perfect, you know, the recipe in the book calls for a 10-pound breast, and I think that extra time maybe is what, I don't know. The skin doesn't look as beautiful as I want it to look, period. So the fix to that is to just hit it with a little bit of olive oil. These coals have burnt down, even on the hot side, they're a little bit low. And I'm gonna carefully turn the turkey over to get a little bit of rendering and browning on the skin. You don't have to do this. I choose to do this because I choose maximum beauty at all times. So the reason it can be a little stressful is that obviously if you're using tongs, you don't wanna pull and tear the skin. But we'll just be careful. It obviously doesn't lay flat. So this is gonna do this end, and then I'll tilt it down. The way it looks right there is how I wish it looked everywhere. But honestly, for the sandwiches, we're probably gonna like not even deal with the skin anyway. But I just want it to be beautiful, maximum beautiful for you. It's gonna take a couple minutes. Just peek at the top end of the breast here. And at this point, I can use the tongs to hold from inside the cavity. If something tears back there, it's not gonna matter. It's not like the pretty part. Oh, that looks nice. We're getting there. A little browning. I'm gonna keep going. I propped it up. I don't know, it's on an angle now, but I'm pleased. What I don't wanna do is be so obsessive about the browning of the skin that I overcook the turkey because it was perfect. There she is, folks. I think this looks gorgeous and beautiful and smoky and toasty. It's not overdone, and it's gorgeous. And it has to rest for at least half an hour. So build in this time. You don't want to cut into the turkey piping hot. Want to rest, want the juices to distribute. And we're making sandwiches, so it doesn't have to be like a steaming hot turkey, but gorgeous, right? You did that. To carve the turkey, I'm gonna do it how I always carve a turkey, which is to take each side of the breast completely off of the bone. So this is how I do my Thanksgiving turkey. Take the legs off first, and then you're just gonna find the center of the breastbone and just take each of these completely off. And that's the easiest way to get into slices. You're not gonna do some Norman Rockwell shit where you're like slicing while it's still on the frame, because that's just not real. That's not how we do stuff, guys. If the wings were here, I would take the wings off first. And this is like really beautifully rested. It's not burning me. Gonna get down in there. And then once you have it sort of separated, just using the tip of my knife and keeping it as close to the bones as possible. You want to keep, obviously, the meat on the meat side and as little meat as possible on the bones. So that's great and perfect. And you can even see, like, it's not a crazy barbecue brag moment, but a little bit of that blue smoke line at the edge of the flesh. And then just turn it over on the flesh side and create your slices. However you want your turkey to be in your sandwich. And then I'm turning this into a club because it's gonna have bacon and lettuce and tomato. But I guess we might have a existential argument about whether there's supposed to be a third slice of bread in the middle. I guess technically to be a club, it should. In practice, it doesn't really work out. So I'm not doing it. But I still am gonna call it a club. But something about that seasoning and the smoke and the turkey fat from the skin, it like makes it almost taste like smoked ham. I'm just saying, it kind of tastes like ham. It's so delish. Now for the moment you've all been waiting for, the sandwich part of the grilled turkey club sandwich video. I have beautiful Pullman bread. This is my preferred sandwich bread. I warmed it up just a touch, but it is not toasted. I like a Pullman because it is soft and it is tender. It has a tight crumb and it is so square. and it's not like the mushroom shape. The crust is like a crust, but it's not like a break your face or scratch your roof of your mouth kind of a crust. And then warming, not toasting, because I don't need any hard edges. This is a little chipotle mayo that I thought would be really nice with all these smoky flavors. So we just whipped it up with some chipotle and adobo liquid and mayo. All right, generous amount of mayonnaise, because basically what this is a BLT with grilled turkey on it and no middle slice of bread, because yell at me later. I don't know why, I just don't care for it. Unless it's like Entenmann's thin white bread that has never seen a toaster in its life. Then no, the third slice of bread is so problematic. Anyway, chipotle mayo, easy peasy. You could do spicy mayo. You could just do mayo. Or if you're not a mayo person, you could do mustard. If you're into Miracle Whip, I think that's when you use it. You use it for this sandwich. I don't think about layer order until I'm in the moment. But today I feel like putting tomatoes on the bottom. Salt my tomatoes. Now I want to put turkey. Turkey, beautiful, gorgeous, exquisite, succulent turkey. Now I want to put bacon. Yes, I tore it in half. It's not spaghetti. Some people might want them coming along out the sides, and that is why you have your house and I have mine. Now lettuce. Some nice green leaf. You could use iceberg. Red leaf. Little gem. Sprouts. You want to put sprouts on it? Okay, also need to salt the lettuce. Okay, so we're closing it up. Pressy press. And then you know what I'm gonna do, right? I'm gonna cut it on the diagonal. Oh my God, there was something, I think it was America's Test Kitchen has a new way to cut a sandwich, and it was the most unhinged shit I've ever seen, but you cut it into 3 pieces geometrically somehow, and they're all triangles. It's fucked up. I could never do it in a million years. I like it. We're not overstuffing. We're not doing Mile High. I'm not trying to do Olympics. I'm not trying to do like some sandwich eating contest where you can't get into it. You will notice my bread is not super thick slice. Like, it's not Texas toast. My layers are for me. You know how when you have omakase at a Japanese restaurant and a really good sushi chef, they will look at the shape of your mouth compared to the shape of the mouth of the other person, and they will size your pieces of fish like for your particular face. So this sandwich is sized for my face. And I like it like this. That's my turkey club, my grilled turkey club sandwich. I'm just thinking about one other thing that I often do when I have a sandwich is I'll have extra mayo on my plate because I like there to be like painting on the wall as well. That's good. To recap, the question is not, is a hot dog a sandwich? The question is, why have we been wasting so much time eating hamburgers and hot dogs in the summer when what we should have been doing is grilling turkey and then making a bona fide famous sandwich out of it? So that is what we will now be doing all summer long. It's grilled turkey club sandwich season. Get it straight. The only thing I wish I had done differently was call around to get my turkey earlier so I could have had it spice rubbing for another 1 or 2 days. I was late on that. This is why I'm telling you to reach out to the butcher, the meat store, wherever it is, like 4 or 5 days in advance, because you want them to be able to order it in if they don't have it, or if they have it and it's frozen, you need to give yourself 1 or 2 days for it to defrost before you put the spice rub on. I didn't do that. It was urgent. It was a runaround. It was a freak out. And then Paisanos had it, thank God. But that's my only regret. I didn't plan far enough in advance.